So let's get started. A school-wide program is a comprehensive program intended to improve outcomes for all students in a Title I Part A school. But just to ground us in the Title I program, there are two types of Title I school programs. There is the Targeted Assistance School Program model and the school-wide program model. The Targeted Assistance School Program model is the default program for Title I schools. In the Targeted Assistance School Programs, services are provided to eligible students based on multiple objective, academically related criteria. These services must be supplemental to what is being provided to all students at the school. And all the activities, strategies, and interventions must be evidence-based. The other model is the Title I school-wide program. The purpose of the school-wide program is to improve the academic achievement throughout the school for all students, especially for the lowest achieving students, and is to result from improving the entire educational program at the school. In order to implement a school-wide program at the school site, the school must meet the eligibility requirements. A school is eligible if the school serves a school attendance area in which not less than 40% of the children are from the low-income families, or not less than 40% of the children are enrolled in the school are from low-income families. If a targeted assistance school meets the eligibility criteria, and they can move to a school-wide program. But the following school-wide program requirements and steps must be followed. So we have, for the first year, a year-long planning process. In addition to that, there must be a comprehensive needs assessment, a school-wide plan, an annual evaluation. And we often get questions about schools wanting to go from the targeted assistance program to a school-wide. And so it's important that people understand the reasons and the benefits of why a school would want to go school-wide. So is that the school does not require the identification of individual students for services as required in the targeted assistance model. The individual services do not need to be supplementary as traditionally in Title II or Title III. And the allowability of costs for services is based mainly on the comprehensive needs assessment and what's written in the school plan. So let's take a look at the year-long process. Before this process can begin, it's extremely important, and I can't express enough how important it is that the district must first determine if the school is actually ready to implement a school-wide program. These questions need to be considered before starting the year-long planning process. So you would need to ask, what is the current status of the Title I program? What is the school's understanding of targeted assistance and school-wide? Do they understand the difference? How will a school-wide program improve the academic achievement for those students who are furthest from achieving the standards? And what is the expected outcome? And lastly, how do you determine if the school is ready to upgrade the entire educational program at that school? So we've created a tool, a readiness rubric, that will help the LEA determine if a school is ready to transition to a school-wide program, and to determine what level of support is needed from the district leadership. You can find the handout at the link at the bottom of the page. The LEA can use the readiness rubric to determine where the school currently places on the rubric. The LEA should reflect on these various aspects of the school, such as the leadership. What level of experience does the school leadership have? Then you'll look at the vision and mission of the school and its level of articulation and implementation of that vision and mission. What level of collaboration exists already among the staff at that school? What is the school's level of commitment to equity? How does the school use data to drive instruction? Does the school have a planning process already in place, or does one need to be created or modified? And lastly, differentiation. Is there actual differentiation happening in classroom instruction that meets the needs of all students? So completing the readiness rubric with the school will guide the district in providing any additional support to the school as this year-long process begins. So the second requirement is a comprehensive needs assessment. So once the district determines that the school is ready, then the school will begin the process of the comprehensive needs assessment. And here, the comprehensive needs assessment takes into account the entire school's information on the academic achievement of all students in relation to the state academic standards. And it takes an even deeper look at the needs of the failing or at-risk failing students. Next is the school-wide plan. So once the comprehensive needs assessment has been completed, the school will now develop a school-wide plan. The school-wide plan will include the comprehensive needs assessment, the plan development input and process, the plan content, which includes strategies, actions, and services. It will also have annual evaluation at the end of the year, as well as the budget. And if you're consolidating this plan with other plans, a list of programs that are being consolidated in this school-wide plan is necessary. When developing the school-wide plan, it's important to remember that there are specific authorized uses of the Title I funds. It's not a pot of money to be used on anything for the school. And again, I'm going to repeat that because oftentimes schools want to go school-wide because they believe that it gives them flexibility in using the money any way they want. And again, it's a Title I program, a school-wide program, and it is not a pot of money. On CD's website, you can find the webpage that explains the criteria for an allowable expenditure with Title I funds. And on that, you're going to see 1 through 13. But here on this slide, 1 through 5 is the allowable uses that applies both to targeted assistance school programs as well as a school-wide program. Activities and expenditures must be aligned to the state academic content standards. The activity or expenditure must be evidence-based. It must be reasonable, necessary, and applicable to the program. And it must supplement the funds that would, in the absence of such funds, be made available from state and local sources and not supplant the funds. And lastly, the funds are used during the current or subsequent federal fiscal year. In addition to those first 5 items on the previous slide, this slide applies to schools that have a school-wide program. So items 6 through 10 state how the activities or expenditures must meet an identified need from your comprehensive needs assessment, is included in your school plan. The plan has been approved by your local governing board, and the school site council will be able to annually evaluate and monitor the implementation of these activities stated within the school plan. And lastly, the activity or expenditure has been reviewed, approved, and recommended by the school site council to the local governing board. If your school is a targeted assistance school program, then you will follow numbers 1 through 5, but then also you will follow 11 through 13 as stated in the slide. In a targeted assistance school program, the activities are for specifically identified students based on the multiple educationally related criteria you have determined. The activity or expenditure is included on an ongoing basis, is part of the review of the progress of these specific students, and is included in the revision of your targeted assistance school program. There's also guidance on staff members paid with Title I funds in a targeted assistance program. So regardless if it is a targeted assistance school or a school-wide Title I program, if an expenditure or activity does not meet all of the above rationale, then it is not likely to be an authorized use of the Title I funds. The last requirement for a school-wide program is number 4 here, the annual evaluation. The school site council must annually evaluate the progress of the programs or activities that were stated in the plan towards accomplishing the goals. It must be determined whether the needs of all students have been met by these strategies or activities that were used, especially for those students who had been furthest from achieving standards. And this is required so that the school plan can be revised as necessary based on the results of your evaluation.